Health check.
5 by 5. You guys ready?
Stand by. Who's up and ready at the moment?
Rotor's up.
Getting ready. On server within
No worries. You
30
go ahead
seconds.
and go ahead and mute Duffin from this Discord channel because I'm going to be needing to use it. And I want you to just hear what's on Pry. LSOs, who's ready right now?
Rotor's ready.
I'm ready.
Whoever just last clicked on intercom, I don't think your mic is set. Is that Johansson?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh.
Okay. All right, all of you make sure that you're tuned to 268.8 on your radio. I'm only seeing 2 people on that frequency right now, other than myself.
Battles check, Frodo.
5 by 5.
All right, Gifford, what's your side number today?
110.
And AJ, what's your side number today?
401.
Rog. Okay, 110, shoot when ready. 401, you may also shoot when ready. Use cap 1 and 2. Keep the interval as good as you can, please. Frodo, you are up on primary.
Rotor's up.
I have lineup. And I have the light. I'm not going to be counting until today because that's too much work right now. So I'm just going to do groove time.
So how do you normally count the interval? Is that from a beam call to wheels down?
Wheels touch to wheels touch is interval. So it's just marked touchdown to touchdown for the interval. And groove is, you know, whatever start may be to touchdown. So generally do it with a timer running the lap function to just give me, with the press of a button, what was it from the last time I pressed the button. Don't worry at the moment about all the 90 and a beam and all that kind of stuff. We'll come to that later. Just focus on that ramp in close, in middle start for your read back. You can also tell me what grade you think you'd give him based on what you saw. Shit, I should listen to jazz step when I'm LSOing more. This is great. All right, here we go.
Tomcat ball 9.2.
Roger ball. Little high. Power.
Balsa. Okay, what did you say?
That was a little high at the ramp, drifting down through in close, high and middle, high at the start. Power call in close.
Okay.
What's the write down code for the drifting down through?
Don't you worry about writing down for the moment.
BRC?
But it would be a backslash.
BRC is 360.
So, I'm doing the writing at the moment, so I'll write for us both as you speak. At the moment, I just want you to focus on calling the pass with the techniques that we've talked about today. Okay, here comes the second one.
Tomcat ball 8.7.
Roger ball.
Okay, what did you say?
Saw little high in middle, little high at the start, but everything else looked good.
Little high, middle, little high at start. Okay.
And I think I saw that one hit about the 2-wire.
That was a 1.
Is that what?
That was a 1. His gear landed just past the 1 wire. Okay, who have we got next?
Looks like 401 setting up for the initial. Looks like 110 still in the pattern. Coming on downwind now.
Okay. Okay, Johansson, if you're good for it, you're up next after Frodo. Frodo's got this pass.
Roger. Roger.
401 at the break now.
One 110, Tomcat ball 8.3.
Roger ball.
Left.
You're high. Power. All right, for that one I had little flying through down in close with a little power call. Little high at start and at the middle.
Okay. How about ramp?
At ramp it looked good.
Okay.
Next one's mine, right?
Next one's
201, hold a ball from the 6. Roger ball. Power.
Looked like a little high at start to the middle. At ramp was good, I think. Yeah, that's it. Probably.
So remember, go from the end of the pass and work backwards.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So good at the end, and then a middle and high a little. A middle and start a little high.
So think about when you go from the end of the pass, you want to describe how we got to that point as your next step. Because right now, for what I've got here, I've got little high at start to in middle, and the pass just ends because nothing else written for the next part.
Copy.
One 110, Tomcat ball 7.9.
Roger ball.
It'll come back. Hey, what we got?
Okay, I've got maybe a little low at the end.
Okay.
With a little high in the middle, then through down. Yeah, fly through down. So we went a little low and a little high at the start.
Okay. Nice work. One more pass and then we'll hand it over to Lilo.
1 whole ball 40.
Come left. what did you see on that one?
At ramp, it was good. I think in the middle, a little high, so he came down for ramp. At the start, a little high too, and overshoot.
Okay.
And yeah, then he went to the left to be on. On the online.
Hey, Lilo, you're up.
Yes.
One 110, Tomcat Ball 7.5.
Right about.
It'll come last.
Power.
Hey, what did you see?
So at the ramp, he was a little bit low. In close, he fly through down, and in the middle, well, in the start to the middle, he was high. Well, a little bit high.
Okay. Perfect.
Also 1 on the ball, 4.7.
Right about. Power.
What did you see?
So at the ramp, he was a little bit low. In close, he fly through down a little bit, and in the middle, nothing. And in the start, he was a little bit high.
Okay. This pass is yours, Lilo, and then after that it will be Frodo back on primary.
Or
One 110, Tomcat Ball 7.3.
right about. Power.
Hey, what did you see?
Okay, so at the ramp he was low. In close he fly throw down. Then in the middle he fly throw up, and the start he was a little bit high.
Hey, Frodo, you're up. Primary.
Frodo's got it.
Closer 1 on the ball, 4.3.
Roger ball.
Hey, what did you say?
I saw nothing on that one. The only thing I could say was at the ramp, in close, in the middle, he was on it, little high at start.
Okay. So how do you think we might say that one if pilot's sort of a little high at start and sort of bouncing along the glide slope the whole way?
I don't know.
Little high coming down all the way.
But he wasn't. He was on it after the start.
But if he was a little high and then he was on after the start with little bounces along the top of the glide slope, barely perceptible, then that was what we would call that little high coming down all the way. One of the best passes you can do.
Roger that.
Tomcat ball 6.9.
Roger ball.
Nice.
You're high. Power.
Hey, what do we see?
Little high at the start and in the middle, drifting. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go backwards. Very low at the ramp. Low in close, drifting down, low in close, high in the middle, and high at the start.
Okay. What do you say at ramp? Sorry, it was. You said something,
Very-
low in close, high, middle, high at start.
I said very low at the ramp and coming down low in close, high in the middle, high at start.
401, horn ball 55.
Okay. 401.
401, Roger ball.
Okay, what do we see for that one?
Little high at the ramp, little high coming down all the
Tower
way.
104.
Stand by. Little high at ramp, say again.
The rest of it was just little high coming down all the way.
Okay. In that case, if he's high at ramp, what you can also say would be little high all the way. Perfectly valid thing to write. Little high all the way.
So the whole thing is just little high all the way. 4-wire, okay pass.
Okay. All right. Johansson, do you want to take primary? Frodo, would you like a crack at lineup?
On it.
I can try and write for you both.
110 Tomcat ball 6.5.
Roger ball.
It'll come left.
Power. Power. Wave off, wave off.
At ramp, what did we see? Wide slope first.
Yeah, it was very very fly through down. Maybe got the power there. He was a little high in the middle and a little high at the start, I'd say.
What you got line up?
Little right all the way.
A little right,
Hang on a sec.
I think.
401, wave off up the right.
401.
All elements hook down, 99 hook down. Okay, so the way this one works, you say what you think at ramp.
110, roger.
Frodo says what he thinks to add at ramp. You say what you see in close. Frodo adds anything if he needs to. You say what you saw in middle. Frodo adds anything, and so on and so forth. Okay, so
Got it.
at ramp, where was he?
Very low.
Yep. Okay.
Little left.
Low at ramp. Very low. Little left. Okay. In close.
In close, very low. Fly through, down.
Little left.
So very fly through down. Little lined up left. Yep. Middle.
A little high.
Little left.
Yep. At the start.
A little high.
Little left.
Okay. Cool. So from what I've got written here, I think the only modification I'd make, Frodo, would be you could then, for something like that, wait until the end and just say little lined up left all the way. If there's nothing to add. If it's the same the whole pass, you can wait until the end and then add it to whatever glide slope's talking about, basically by just saying all the way, little lined up left. But that means I've got the whole path. Nice one, guys.
Roger that.
Let's try it again with the next one. 110. Let's go.
Roger, remember.
110, Tomcat Falls 6.1.
104, ask.
Roger, bot.
Yeah, I know. 104 needs to let me know that he's attending. Okay.
Exactly. Little power. Oh.
Little power. Wave off, wave off.
Wave off happened in close. What was happening in close?
Yeah, looked like in close he
Yeah.
was no, in close he was very high.
The very high was that ramp. What happened in close?
Okay, in close then he was maybe a little low, that's why I said a little power.
Next aircraft.
Okay.
401, water ball, 000. Roger, bot.
Looked
Right.
good for me, all the way.
Line up.
Nothing.
Okay.
So, quick question for the lineup. How do you call, what's the call whenever they drift through the glide slope?
Drift through the center line.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, when they drift through the
Go
center
from
line.
one side to the other, yeah. Right to left or left to right, depending on which way it was.
Okay, so for that one, I would have, well, how do you notate it when they're, like on that one, he was right, and then he came back
Mhm.
left on his own.
Came back left on his own. You'd say that he was, let's say,
Right at the start.
lined up right at start, coming back in middle.
Okay, that's
example.
what it was.
Okay.
One zero is coming in high and hot.
104 will try and get you up in a minute.
104.
110, Hornet, Tomcat Falls 500.
Fuck's sake.
Roger, bot. Power.
Okay, there's definitely stuff to say there. What happened with 110?
At ramp he was low.
Okay.
Probably very low.
Okay. Line up, you got anything?
Oh, I thought that's lineup then.
Yep.
Yeah, at ramp.
So this is why I'm like, okay, how do you know if I'm waiting or if I'm just not talking?
Because the way it will work, and this is where backup becomes. Sorry, 2 seconds. 99, we're just taking 5 minutes to do a quick mini debrief, and then we'll be right back up in the air. So the way that it works is that.
That's kind of it for me. I'm going to back out, but thanks for the passing.
Roger. So the way it works when people are experienced is as soon as the aircraft's landed, cool, glide slope starts talking. Glide slope will leave a slight pause in between saying the at-ramp stuff and saying the enclosed stuff. If there's something for lineup to say, lineup just says it during that pause to indicate there's something there. Otherwise, if a small pause is taken and nothing's been said, glide slope moves on.
Okay.
So, low at ramp.
Yeah, I rather very low at ramp.
Okay. Continue glide slope.
Yeah, glides. In close, I'd say it was low.
Drifting right.
Then you came down.
Low drift right and close.
A little high in the middle. Coming down.
Little left.
A little high at the start.
Okay. Right, so things that you guys want to take from this bit. So things that I have written down real quick. That last pass, all right? So that was a no grade 1. It has to be because it was a 1. So in that case, little high at start, little high coming down on drift left in middle, low on drift right in close, very low at ramp. So with this, the only bits that don't make sense is, okay, so we're very low at ramp. We're low in close. Okay, that's valid to write if there's no other way to write it. We're also drift right in close. Where were we at ramp?
Right.
So that's one bit there. We're missing continuity. We then step back. We've got in middle. So little high coming down on drift left in middle. So on both sides here, we're now low in close. So how did we go from little high coming down to going below the glide slope? That should probably be fly through down. The drift left in middle. Yeah. We need a line up for it to go to, is the thing. So we've gone from drift left to drift right with no kind of intermediary. And then we've got the high at start, which, yeah, high at start into high in middle, that makes sense. So things to consider just on how, remember that the come down has a very specific meaning. We can't go low after that because it's not a come down anymore. And then for the lineup, you want to use your drifts to only say that you've gone from center line to somewhere else, but then you've got to say what the somewhere else is. Okay?
Yeah, so how do I say they went from right at the start through the center line, then back across the center line and close?
Oh, okay. So there's a long way to say it, and there's actually a really neat trick way to say it as well. So the long way to say it would be lined up right at start, and you can add littles or varies to this, whatever you think, but lined up right at start, right to left in middle, left to right in close, lined up right at ramp or coming back at ramp, whichever it happens to be.
Or just AFU,
what you can also
AW.
just write, you could also just write, this one I haven't introduced to you guys, but you could write CHLUAW, chase line up all the way.
That's what I was trying to say. That's exactly what I was trying to say. He went from, he's
100%, cool.
started on the right and then chased it the whole way.
We knock out all the lineup comments there and just put at the end, chase line up all the way. So that's a neat little trick. This is exactly what I mean of like, oh, you just learn a word that means the thing you're trying to say. So chase line up all the way would be used for that one. Cool. let's have Velo. Do you want to have a go on primary, and we'll move Johansson to have a go at lineup?
Yes.
Okay, you have a go on primary. Johansson, you're going to move to lineup. Frodo, if you want a time groove, by all means. Otherwise, watch and ask questions in between if you need to. Remember, guys, the important thing is that you say something. Try to avoid, I think, try and just do it quickly, okay? But even if it's wrong, just do it quickly, okay? Because it will improve over time.
Frodo's going to be off
Sweet.
comms for a couple of minutes.
You got it, no problem. Okay. All right, 99. It looks like we've got 104 and 401. Go ahead and take the cap at your discretion. Launch direct into bolted pattern, please.
Say again.
Breath. 104 and 401. Go ahead and take the caps at your discretion. Launch directly into the bolted pattern.
401. 104.
So 104, appreciate you rocking up, buddy. Just please let me know next time.
Yeah, what's my time yet?
Roger that. All right. Also, guys, I appreciate this is tough. It is absolutely okay to be wrong at this stage. The main thing is we want to have something written down, okay? Above all else, we want something written down. Because to be fair, looking at a lot of the passes I've got recorded already from you guys, if you guys handed me this, I can tell what you guys are trying to say, and I could neaten it up. Like, this would be fixable without me having to watch the passes. The ones I can't fix are the ones where we didn't get anything written down or we're missing half the pass, okay? So much better to say something than say nothing if you're unsure. Everyone's still having fun, I hope?
Absolutely.
104 ready to launch.
104, shoot it. You guys see what I mean about a new language now, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like a comp to parter kind of situation.
No.
Frodo's back on comms where you need me.
Frodo, you'll be honestly whatever you'd like to do. If you want to watch, that's fine. If you want to do groove time, that's also fine. We've currently got Zelo on primary and Johansson on lineup to give those a go. I'm just going to keep rotating you guys through. Okay. So next
Frodo's
week, for
got-
example, will be Frodo on primary, Lilo on lineup.
Frodo's got the deck in the groove time.
Beautiful.
Oh, can you repeat? Sorry. Now I'm primary or
No,
backup?
you're primary, Lilo. You're primary. I was saying what's going to happen next. For the moment, you're primary.
Okay.
And Johansson is lineup, is backup, sorry. Yeah, I was just saying to the others, Frodo, the reason it's super important that we say something rather than nothing, half the passes, in fact 3/4 of the passes that I've got written down here from the times you guys have just had a go, I could probably fix them in post. Like, I could make them make sense because I can see what you guys meant, right? However, for the bits that I don't have written down, I've no option but to try and watch a recording. So even if it's bullshit, even if it's wrong, much better to say something than say nothing. And as
Yep.
you go, you will become
I
more
agree.
correct over time.
Next
The one thing I want to clear up is a
110, deck's clear.
misconception. The one thing I want to clear up is a misconception, folks. What we can't do is go, I've got nothing. So even if you saw barely anything, think about like, is there any trend you witnessed whatsoever? Just try and describe it as like, gently bouncing on the glide slope all the way, or ever so slightly weaving all the way, or something like that. Glide slope especially, even if it looks like they were on the ball the whole way, you're looking for like any tiny deviation where you can characterize how they flew the ball. So remember, a pass with comments can still be a fucking perfect pass. There is no pass that exists where there are no comments. Makes it harder that people do the DCS pass flying rather than the real world pass flying. In the real world, they will move the ball, always. There are people in Hornets here that will just sit the ball in the center and then try and not move, which is a little irritating as an LSO. So encourage your Hornet friends to push the ball up and be an active ball flyer. Makes your job easier. Okay, first aircraft in.
104, template for 656.
Royal ball.
Come left.
Power.
Okay, what we got?
Ready to launch.
Alright, so at the ramp, low.
Okay.
Okay,
A little left.
In close, a little bit high. And he fly through down.
fly through down and close.
A little line up left.
In the middle, too much power, and he went too high, like high.
Okay,
Look good, drifting left.
And at the start, he was a little bit in the left and a little, in the left and a little bit high.
Very long in group, 29
Left.
seconds.
No, right. Right. Coming back to the center line.
Oh my bad, sorry. At the start, he was not. Yes.
okay. So, enough for an overshoot or just a little bit right?
It was close.
Not
was
you
close.
primary, line up.
I'd say it was an overshoot.
Little, okay, so little high overshoot coming back at start. There we go. Long, very long in groove, and you said 29 seconds. Dude, guys, that's almost perfect. Well done. Really well done. That makes coherent sense.
Next aircraft 110, deck's clear.
That'll be 104. 110 is logged off now. We've got 104 in as a replacement. And that would have been a no grade 1. There we go. Really proud of you guys for that one. Keep that shit up. That was good.
Group time needs to be at the beginning or at the end?
Groove time goes at the end. Or you can say it right at the beginning before anyone started talking. It just can't be in the middle.
104, template for 652.
Royal ball. Power.
Okay, what we got? Nice and quick.
Alright, at the ramp a little bit low.
Okay. Keep going.
I keep saying like in close.
Yep, keep going.
Alright, in close he was a little bit high. Then in the middle, he was also a little bit high, and at the start he was left and a little bit high.
He was right at the start.
401,
Coming
hold
left, coming
6.5.
back.
401, go for it.
Royal ball.
Come left.
Okay, radar contact.
Power.
Okay, what we got?
Alright, the ramp he was a little bit low.
A little left.
In close, he was a little bit right and a little bit high.
You're not looking at lineup.
Drifting left.
Little high, drift left, in close, yep.
In the middle and the start, he was also a little bit high.
At start, right, coming back.
Okay, so little
67
high,
second interval, 27-second groove time.
7, long, in, groove, underline. Little high, lined up right at start, coming back in middle. Little high coming back in middle. There we go.
Next aircraft 401. Correction, 104.
Okay. And we're going to shift people after this pass. Remember, you're doing glide slope only, Lilo. Don't focus on lineup, just focus on glide slope.
Roger, ball. Power.
Okay.
Alright, at the ramp, he was a little bit low.
Okay.
In close, also a little bit high. Sorry, a little bit high. Yes. Then in the middle, he come down and
Roger ball.
Overshoot
Frodo.
coming back.
Frodo's got the primary. Lilo, you have lineup. What do we see?
Little high at ramp, high coming down all the way. So just little high coming down all the way.
You're on pri.
Sorry, that was little high coming down all the
good.
way, high at ramp.
Lineup, what you got?
For me, in the middle, he come back, and then at the start he was at the right.
Okay, so my price start. Coming back in middle. High, come down all the way.
So for that one, he was a little high coming down all the way, but he actually
Yep.
added a little too much power and he was high at the ramp. So
Okay, so in that case, you would say little high for both of the ones, or however you saw it. But the really important bit is the TMPIC, little high at ramp. So little too much power in close.
104, target ball, 55.
High ramp.
Roger ball.
Zero. 104, fuck. Yeah. Okay, what we got? Mm-hmm.
So that was little low at ramp, and then high coming down all the way.
Okay.
For me, in close, he came back to the middle. In the middle, he was a little bit right, and at the start, he was right.
Okay. So the way that we're doing glide slope there, Frodo, doesn't quite work. Purely because you can say a little low at ramp, but you then need to say how he got there, so we can't just say high all the way.
101, ball, 56.
Roger ball.
Wave him off.
Wave off.
Wave him
Wave
off.
off. Like,
Okay.
so he
401,
got there
401. Wave off. Wave off.
So
Uh,
little.
TCAOSX underline. Okay.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
little low, or actually it was low at the ramp.
Uh-huh.
Fly through down in middle,
Mm-hmm.
high at the start.
High at start to middle. Okay, and it can be a little high and start to middle. That's perfectly fine. If you think it was only a little high, then that's not a problem. So
But
high.
I mean, like he was on it the whole way, except when he got in close, he cut the power and he tried to drop it into the deck, and he did it too much, and he hit the one wire.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is part of the how do we sort of write passes in a way that makes sense kind of thing. So sometimes you'll have to think how it best fits into the notes.
104, Tomcat Bravo 5.1.
Roger, ball. Power.
Okay, sent him over the wires on that one. What's the what did you see? Also rotate. We're now going to have Frodo on line up. We're going to have Johansson on primary.
Little high at ramp.
Yep.
At the ramp, he land the left, a little bit in the left in the area.
Okay, so little high, little lined up left at ramp. Yep.
Drifting. Fly through down in close. Or
In close, he. Oh, sorry.
no,
Go
ahead.
In close, he came back from the right.
Little high
Yep.
to start through in the middle.
In the middle, he was right, and in the at the start, he was a little bit in the left.
Okay.
101, Hornball, Papa 2. Roger, bot.
At ramp, a little low. In the middle, he was on. Oh, in close, sorry. In close, he was on it.
Okay,
As
so
well.
in that case, we're going to correct that little settle in close because he has to have gotten to the low somehow. Yep. On going down.
Oh, you're
cool.
right. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
You're right. And at the start, he was a little high coming down.
Line up anything?
104,
Little
Tomcat Bar
right at
4.8.
start, coming back in middle.
Roger, bot. A little power. Power.
Okay.
A little low at ramp.
Okay.
In close, a little settle. On in the middle.
Mhm.
A little high at the beginning, coming down.
Little right all the way.
Little high coming down. Start in middle. And you said a little coming back or going away? Was he drifting to the right the whole way, or was he just sort of lined up right
No,
dead
he
the
was
whole
lined
way?
up right the whole way.
Perfect. Okay, little lined up right.
49
All the
second interval,
way.
21 second groove.
Okay.
401, Hornball, 4.8. Roger, bot.
Okay.
A little power.
It didn't need that power call on that one. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, a little low at ramp. A little low in the middle. On, oh, sorry, a little low in close is what I meant. On, in the middle, settling.
Okay.
And on at beginning. At the start.
Okay.
Lineup was on all the way.
Perfect. Okay. One more pass, then we're going to rotate once more, and then that'll be me after that for the night.
455.
Roger, ball.
Okay. Okay, what do we see?
At ramp, it was a little low.
Mm-hmm.
In close, it was on, settling.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, on.
Okay.
A little high at start, coming down.
Okay, so a little high at start. Sorry, a little high coming down at start to in middle. Little high coming down, start in middle. What's that unclosed little low at ramp? Line up what we got.
Little right at start, coming back to lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And he got it by the time he was in the middle.
Okay.
401's up next. Who's got backup?
Johansson, you have backup. Lilo, you have primary.
401, on the ball,
Copy.
on the ball. Roger, ball.
Approach. 1610.
Power.
Primary, start talking.
Alright, so at the ramp he was a little bit low. Also in close, he was a little bit low. In the middle, he was a little bit high, and the stars a little bit high.
404, Tomcat ball, Tomcat ball. Roger, ball. Power.
We see.
Alright, so at the ramp he was a little bit low. No, sorry, at the ramp he was low. In close he was a little bit low. In close he was high, and he fly throw down. In the middle he was a little bit high. Sorry, he was high and he flew down. And on the start he was a little bit high.
A little lined up right, coming back at the start.
Interval for that last pass was 59 seconds. Time and groove was 20. Pass before that interval was 80 seconds. Time and groove 28.
No worries. We've been missing those off in the last couple. As a real quick thing, primary wants to just start talking. Line up, if you've got something to add at a certain point, you can just interrupt glide slope, just talk over. That's perfectly fine to get the point in of like, you know, glide slope said like, hey, little low in, close, you can go drifting left as well. Like, drifting
401,
left
on
at
the
close.
ball, 4.0.
That's the way to do it.
Roger, ball.
Copy.
401. After this, I'm going to have them go hook down. You two are going to stay on the camera for the moment.
Uniform, go.
What do we see?
Alright, so at the ramp, nothing. In close, a little bit low. In the middle, he come down to the lineup.
A little
and
right. In the middle. And
Okay.
coming back.
And at the start, he was a little bit high.
104, Tonkin,
A little right.
300.
Right ball.
Last pass, interval 103, proof time 22.
401, hut down.
Power. Power.
One wire.
Alright, so at the ramp, he was low. In close, he was low also. In the middle, he fly throw down.
A little left, coming back.
And at the start, he was a little bit high.
A little left.
Deck's clear, no interval, no gap. Next aircraft 401.
Okay. And a real quick debrief these after we've got him on deck. If that's good with everybody. I appreciate it's getting late.
So what do you say in this situation where they have their nose landing gear light on?
401, one ball frequency.
Right ball. A little bit of power.
4 wire.
Alright, so the ramp, he was a little bit low. At the in close, sorry, he fly throw down and he was a little bit low. Then in the middle, he come down to a lineup, and at the start, he was a little bit high.
A little right, coming back.
Okay.
99, session end. I'm going to be debriefing with the LSOs in the other room. Thank you very much, folks, for flying.
Alright, let's go to Discord, guys.
Thanks everyone for waiting. And thanks AJ for hitting me.